Samantha. Hello, everybody. My pleasure to introduce this year's recipients. I'll give you a little bit of background to begin with. In 2019, on the occasion of CREST's Impact Travel Forum on World Tourism Day, the CREST Board of Directors awarded Dr. Martha Honey with the legacy. I'm muted.
No, you're good.
I'm good now. Coinciding with Martha's retirement as the longtime executive director and co-founder of CREST, the board decided to initiate an annual Martha Honey Legacy and Responsible Travel Award to honor an individual felt to be making a significant difference in developing and influencing new directions for more responsible travel globally. Each year now, in advance of the World Tourism Day Forum, the board and staff at CREST compile a list of worthy candidates for the award based on that year's specific forum theme. A set of selection criteria are then applied to determine the award recipient. This year's recipient of the Martha Honey Legacy and Responsible Travel Award has played a long-standing leadership role in addressing the current tourism and climate crisis. This individual has had a deep involvement in climate-friendly advocacy globally, as well as playing a pivotal mentorship role to further responsible travel in different sectors of the industry. The board of directors were struck by the recipient's tireless efforts to bring together thought leaders, to catalyze actions, to fill the knowledge gaps, and to truly disrupt the tourism industry to move towards more responsible practices in recognition of this climate emergency. On behalf of the full board of directors of CREST, it is my distinct honor to announce Mr. Geoffrey Lipman, the president of SUNx, an organization promoting a new system for tourism destinations and stakeholders to build climate resilience, as this year's recipient of the Martha Honey Legacy and Responsible Travel Award. Now, Geoffrey has a very distinguished record in the global tourism industry. In the 70s, he was the executive director of IATA, the International Airline Transport Authority, where he helped to drive a new liberalization in that sector. In the 90s, he was the first president of the World Travel and Tourism Council, where he worked to promote new systems for measuring the sector and helped to introduce new corporate social responsibility certifications. In the first decade of the new millennium, Geoffrey served as Assistant Secretary of the United Nations World Tourism Organization, where he spearheaded new development support systems, including the STEP program, Sustainable Tourism, Eliminating Poverty. Today, through SUNx, Geoffrey is designing, developing, and implementing programs like the climate-friendly Travel to Zero system, the climate-friendly travel registry, and climate-friendly travel educational courses. So now I would like to introduce this year's award recipient, Geoffrey Lipman, to say a few words. Geoffrey, congratulations, and over to you.
Well, Mike and Samantha, I'd very much like to thank you for this honor that you're bestowing on me. And I want to thank CREST for its actions in making this decision. In doing so, I also want to recognize the significant long-time green tourism thought leadership of Martha Honey, in whose honor it is given. I'm glad we traded thoughts, and I chose those words carefully for those of you who know Martha well. We traded many things, but we traded thoughts in the more civilized time of the early 1990s, and not in the polarized, hate-infected Trumpian world of today. And this allowed us to come at the same issues from quite differing perspectives, with civility and with decency, and to find areas of common understanding. I accept this award, and I think you will appreciate this, Mike, as a Canadian, a fellow Canadian, I should say. I accept this award, not so much for myself, but as an acknowledgement of the inspiration I received back then from my friend and mentor for 25 years, the late Maurice Strong, sustainability and climate activist half a century ago. And I marvel at what Maurice Strong achieved on the world stage. It was the same Maurice Strong who organized the 1972 First Earth Summit and the 1992 landmark Rio Earth Summit, with 124 heads of state sitting around the same table. Maurice Strong masterminded the birth of UNEP, the IPCC, the UNFCCC, the Earth Charter, and Ted Turner's billion-dollar donation to the UN Foundation. And arguably, you can see his fingerprints all over the MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, the SDGs, and even the Paris Climate Accord. And just as his vision is so evident across all of the UN sustainability and climate framework, we have baked it into the DNA of SUNxMalta, which is a legacy to him in the travel and tourism space. We're an EU-based NGO partnered with the government of Malta, a government which was the first, a small island state, to put climate change on the agenda of the UN Assembly back in 1987. And this is where we found a common purpose. And our goal is simply to advance climate-friendly travel, low carbon, SDG linked, and Paris 1.5 aligned. My message today, both from myself and from SUNxMalta, along with my real gratitude to CREST for this award, consists of three simple points. Point one, the climate crisis is existential. It needs to be our primary focus, and it needs it now. This is the hottest year in recent memory, with the most disastrous impacts escalating around the world. The floods, the fires, the melting ice caps, you know them all. Our current 2030 emissions trajectory is for a 16% increase. I repeat that, a 16% increase, rather than the 50% decrease needed to stay on track to a 1.5 degree limit. The World Meteorological Organization says we could hit 1.5 within 5 years without radical change. Within 5 years, let that sink in. Amidst all the talk of 2030, 2050, we're on track to hit 1.5 after 2025. Point number two, the Glasgow Tourism Declaration is a step in the right direction, but we have to go further and we have to go faster. We would argue it's not a race to zero, it's a dash to zero. Net zero carbon 2030 rather than 2050. We have to change our vision on this. And by 2050, and that's 3 decades away, we need a tourism which produces no greenhouse gas at all. DASH stands for declare and act. Without action, nothing else matters. And in return, we need support and hope. And it's gratifying to listen to Samantha talking about all the support which is coming through the CREST system. And we, for our part, have established a registry for climate ambitions linked to the UNFCCC, the Global Climate Action Portal. We've built a network of SDG 17 partners, and our goal is to produce 100,000 strong climate champions in all UN states by 2030. 100,000 to help companies and communities in what is going to be a very demanding and challenging transformation process. Point number 3, and my last point. Our best hope is in the youth, who will, as Greta Thunberg says, have to clean up our mess. Today's young people are the ja, yes we can, yeah, not the blah blah, as Thunberg refers to my generation. And they will do the tough actions needed to live with the climate crisis, because it's not going to go away. And we must give them the support and the hope that they deserve. To close with a quote which my friend Maurice Strong used to say many times. It's an Inuit quotation. We do not inherit the earth from our fathers. We borrow it from our children. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you for those remarks, Geoffrey. We are so glad you were able to join us today, and your remarks were spot on, of course. Greg, I would like to invite you up to the virtual stage to close us out.
Okay. Do you have me on video?
Yes, sir.
Because I can't see myself, but that's okay.
You're on video.
Great, wonderful. Well, Geoffrey, again, on behalf of all of us here at CREST and throughout the sustainable tourism community, congratulations, and really appreciate your comments. I share those. And I think the last 2 days, we've seen the importance of youth. We've seen the declare, act, support, and hope approach, at least to an extent, from all of us. And truly, the climate crisis is existential. So thank you very much for that affirmation and for shaking the tree a bit and ensuring that we as leaders in sustainable tourism recognize the important and catalytic role that we can play. Just a few quick points here to close out our sessions and to sort of use this 2 days as a springboard for us all to really take action. First, again, congratulations, Geoffrey. Second, I want to thank again our sponsors, World Wildlife Fund, Holbrook Travel and Legacy Vacation Resorts, and all of our speakers, facilitators, and assistants, our CREST team. And I want to specifically give a very strong team shout out to Samantha Bray for her leadership and dedication to organizing and leading and implementing this extraordinary 2 days. So Samantha, well done. Just a few points from my perspective as executive director of CREST and also one of the co-founders of the Future of Tourism Coalition. I think we've heard over the last 2 days a few points, and let me just share those again. I think it's essential first that we all have a better, more heightened situation awareness of where we are, about how we can manage risk from our perspectives, how we can identify opportunities, and prioritize cost-effective actions for us to take. And that first action is, as we've talked about, is to no question develop a thoughtful, deliberate climate action plan from your perspective. To establish, as I mentioned at the onset, a mindset that includes mitigation, adaptation, and focusing on resilience for you and your communities. And I ask that you think about and think hard about how you can take a take action mindset and use that going forward as really a kind of force multiplier to influence your business, this sector, and the community overall. And then finally, ask yourselves all how you and your colleagues can set those stretch goals to move yourself and move all of us in this sector at a pace and scale to have genuine positive impact. Because tourism cannot be on the sidelines. We must be leaders. We must be change agents. And so let's take what we've learned these last couple days and put them into action. So again, thank you, everyone. I will now officially close the conference. And please, again, consider, as Samantha mentioned before, participating and signing on to the Glasgow Declaration. Tourism declares a climate emergency. And hopefully you'll also look at our Future of Tourism Coalition guiding principles and be a signatory. Take good care, and the future is what we make it. Good day.